I got the time right here. I got the time right now. Uh-huh. That's right. Time is all I got right here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, here in the internet world, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you tune in to get the real scoop. My name is Don Strong. I am here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I am interviewing Brother David from Brooklyn.
Time, she's my friend.
Number one, we need to get away from private prisons where capitalist corporations are building prisons and getting guarantees to fill these prisons, I guess, with people. And it winds up, most of these prisons are full of so-called people of color. The point is that the prison system is based on laws that are passed at all levels to entice or capture poor and working class people. So you'll find in prison, and I guess the majority of people in there are poor people who have to plead to a crime even though they didn't commit a crime. So this happens every day. Most of the people in prison, from what I understand, over 95% of them take a plea deal rather than having a trial, especially at the federal level and also at the state level, rather than taking a trial, whether they committed a crime or not, because what happens, the prosecutor threatens them with additional charges and longer sentences if they lose. So I would do something about that, and not making it so easy for prosecutors to do that. And also I would change the law completely so that a prosecutor has to let the defense attorney know what evidence he has long before the person goes to trial, if he goes to trial, or before he pleads. In many places, from what I understand, prosecutors hold evidence till just before a trial, a few minutes, and the defense attorney has no time to prepare a case in that situation. So what I would do is end cash bail for most things, and reduce the laws that require long sentences. And this would save the taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. And instead of that, emphasize rehabilitation and jobs for people who are having difficulty. I would think that most people that wind up in these prisons and jails are people who don't have jobs. So I think there's a connection of taking those people who wind up and making certain that they have an opportunity for jobs under my job program. And I think that would reduce the number of people who are in prison, many of them in for very questionable things or small misdemeanors. And this would be a fantastic help for all the people of the country, the people that pay the bill for the prisons, and also for those at the bottom of the pyramid who are the poor, which is after country that we live in. So that's important to me to help everybody.
You know, there's this song by Chuck Berry. It's called "Brown Eyed Handsome Man." I don't know if you're familiar with the song,
No.
but I didn't know the original version, but Taj Mahal did a version, and in the song he says, "Arrested on charge of unemployment, he walked to the witness stand." And the the judge's wife told the district attorney, "If you want your job, you better free that brown-eyed handsome man," which is it's a funny story, but it was funny to me. And then recently, I was learning about I think it's called the kind of peonage labor system that they
Yeah.
had in the South.
Yes.
So if you were unemployed, after slavery, right, after emancipation, so to speak, if you were black and unemployed, you could be arrested just for being unemployed.
Yes, they had many laws like that, vagrancy laws. So you could be walking down the street and the sheriff or police could just arrest you and for nothing,
Yep.
and convict you for nothing and send you to do slave labor. This is
Right.
this is after the 13th Amendment. So
Right.
slavery never ended.
Right.
There's a book about it called Slavery by Another Name. Slavery by Another Name. And it's such a difficult book to read, though, because you see the crookery of the system, the so-called justice system, which is really an injustice system. If you want to learn something about drugs, there's a professor, Carl, he wrote a book, High Price, and he's a professor at Columbia University, and he has a fantastic book if you want to learn something about drugs, because it's important to understand that most people who take drugs are not addicts. High Price is the name of the book.
Okay, that's great. Any parting words that you have for us today, Brother David? Any wise aphorisms?
Well, my parting words is get out of the box, and you can't get anywhere by following along with those who rule. Those who rule the politics and the economy, don't have your interests at heart. So get your brain moving. You're not going to learn these things in school, and you're not going to read about them in the media. So start to think for yourself.
Sounds good. Before I think at one point it sounded like you were getting ready to run for office. You said my program.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what we may have to draft you for office. Be prepared.
Yes. Well, I take ownership of that, and I feel that those things are important, and nobody else talks about these things.
Right.
So
right.
I'm very happy that I'm able to talk about things that politicians are not going to talk about.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much, Brother David. Until next time, from Brooklyn, we'll say peace and be safe and well.
All right. Until next time.
I got the secret here in my shirt pocket. You can have the time you're needing. You can just float with me. Ride it up, baby, ride it up like the sea.